Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Eden's Realm. So, what have I been up to in between episodes? Well, I'll give you a quick fly-through. I have been working on the perimeter for the Wither Skeleton farm. You can see I've placed a ton of slabs, and a whole buttload of them have been placed. We can check my statistics here if we look at times used, and we go to slabs, 44,000 of them. I've placed a lot. But what are we going to be doing today? Because obviously we are not over at the Wither Skeleton farm. We're going to be working with Wither Skeleton skulls. We only need those 3. I harvested those earlier on whenever I was at the Wither Skeleton farm. But we need those for a side project. Today we are going to be making a Wither Rose farm. One of the most dangerous and tricky farms to make, in my opinion, but I think we'll be able to handle it. Let's go over to the creative world, and I'll show you what I have in store. Wither Rose farms are relatively simple in nature. What you have to do is you have to get a wither to kill a mob. But withers are a little bit difficult to deal with in many ways. And the first of which being is that whenever they charge up, like this one here, they explode, and you'll get blocks blowing up. So you can see a couple of these blew up here. And we don't want that because we want to be able to build our farm and then spawn the wither in. So what we're going to do is we will place in the blocks for our wither, right, like this, and then we're going to place water in, which will flow down over the sides, and this will shield the explosion so that all of the blocks don't explode. It's a little neat trick that you can do just to make sure that nothing gets exploded. But now, the wither is in a state where it does not have a target. So I, as the creative player, do not give it a target. But what it will do is if it sees a target, it will lock onto it, and it will fire at it. Now, the interesting thing is, all 3 of these heads fire bullets, but because of how we have it situated here, on the wall, and inside this frame here of bedrock, what we can do is make it so that only the central head fires bullets, which is really useful because they come out of the center. And then we can place something like a chicken far away, and the wither will continually shoot bullets in this direction. Now, if we mobilize that, what we can do is if we come over here, we can have a wither situated in here, shooting through a bubble column, which shoots out skulls into an area where we can kill mobs. Namely, in this case, it'll be Endermen. Obviously, there are no Endermen spawning here, but you get the idea. But there is one issue I haven't discussed, and it is these blue skulls. So, in vanilla, there is a 0.1% chance, or a 1 in 1,000% chance, that the wither's main head shoots a blue skull instead of a black skull. And the blue skulls are an issue because if we get one, you can see here that they destroy blocks, unlike the black skulls. And they will not only destroy regular blocks, but if I get something tough like obsidian that is normally not able to be blown up, you'll see that they actually destroy it as well. Now I'm using a carpet feature, which is called More Blue Skulls, that allows it to generate more blue skulls than normal. But you can see why we have the issue, because there's no way to stop the blue skulls, like there is with the black skulls. The black skulls go in there and get destroyed, but the blue skulls destroy any blocks we put in front of it. So we need to figure out a way to get rid of them. You gotta remember, of course, the blue skulls also destroy fluids, and so if I have water or something, and I should mention, the reason that we are able to separate the black skulls from the blue skulls is the fact that blue skulls have a different trajectory. So you can see the black skulls are much faster, and so that allows the soul sand to give a different trajectory to the blue skulls than the black skulls, which is really useful because, as you can see here, we can have the blue skulls pass under the killing chamber and out of the way instead of running into the killing chamber and messing everything up. There are 2 remaining questions to be answered. Number 1, how do we get rid of the blue skulls? And number 2, how do we find that specific bedrock structure? Well, the bedrock structure is really easy. You just find a end gateway out in the end, and destroy the end gateway, and then you have the bedrock structure. Really nice and simple. The second one, how do we get rid of the blue skulls? Well, to be honest, we don't. I'm just a little bit lazy, and so what I decided to do is I would just take all of the blue skulls and ship them all the way across the end, and then they end up in the middle of nowhere. We only need a couple thousand of the wither roses, and this farm right here, if we don't place down any water and we just use the AFK system up top right there, if we don't place any water, we get around 33 or 3,300 wither roses per hour. But if we do place the water and stop the Endermen from attempting to teleport down here, where they immediately despawn, we actually can raise it by 38% to get 4,600 wither roses per hour. So it's a pretty substantial amount of wither roses, and I think that with as easy as this farm is going to be to build, it should be pretty efficient. Alright, I have everything that I need, but I need some wool. Luckily, I am a hoarder, and I keep all of my extra wool just kind of lying around up here. So, should be good. I think we have everything ready to build it now. So, let's head to the end. I may have went the wrong way, but I did find 2 elytra, which is pretty nice. I always need more elytra. So, the last difficult part of this is I need to break that end portal block, and I'd completely forgotten about it, so I had to go all the way back and get my dirt and my red mushrooms and bone meal. But I think I remember how to do this. I think it needs to go here, because, yes, and then you just bone meal it. And yep, you can see it's broken. You can also use this technique to break the end portal blocks so that you can make sand dupers. That's usually how it's done. Okay, I have done quite a bit of double checking, and I think everything is ready. We just need to spawn our wither in and place the water in. So, here it goes. Place these two. So, I'll place this last one, which actually I should probably place this one last, and then I will place the water in just like that. And then I'll fly up to the top so that there's no endermen around like those guys. I think they're fine. And then everything should despawn, and it should be alright. Okay. Let's give it a whirl. There's the water. Fly up top. Endermen are spawning. And let's go take a look. And yep, it seems to be working just fine. The direction of the skulls is a little bit off because of that water that's in there. But that is okay. That was to be expected. Now we can come down here. I don't think the wither will see us, but we don't want to take any chances. Come on. Come on. There it is. And back up top. I'm a little bit confused why they aren't getting hurt. We have some, but yeah, the trajectory seems to be off, and I don't know why. It might have something to, it might be position dependent. Okay, I'll AFK for a little bit, and then we will see if I can get this problem fixed. Okay, so as far as I'm aware, it is working now. Yep, we are getting an ample amount of wither roses. Probably should have made a sorting system for this, but to be honest, I just couldn't be bothered. It, it was not worth my time. What I had to do to fix it, though, was a little bit interesting. So I had to raise up the killing platform by 1 block. For some reason, whenever the Wither Skulls are coming in at their head, they see it and then they automatically teleport somewhere else, which means that they don't get killed in the killing chamber, and so I couldn't collect everything. But that has been fixed now. The farm works completely fine, and I just need to AFK here for a while. So, waiting time it is. So, while AFKing at the Wither Rose farm, I have been working on the sorting system for the Wither Skeleton farm. And you can see here, it is all up and running. I'm using 5 item sorters, 1 for the Wither Skeleton skulls, and 2 for the bones, and 2 for the cull. You can see the results here in the pink line. I have pink wool down here using carpet mod to count it all. And you can see we're getting about 10,000 bones per hour, 3,000 coal per hour, and around 250 wither skulls per hour, which is pretty good. I got a system here which just aligns the items and shoots them down the ice over the hoppers, allows it to pick it up. Nice and simple, and it works out really well. The purple line down here, you can see I'm losing around 2 coal per hour and 4 wither skulls and a couple bones, but it's really not that big of an issue because we need to destroy all of the swords. There's not really a good way to handle 18,000 swords that come out of this. So the entire sorting system is done. It is all set up and working now. We have the coal and the bones going into shulker boxes, and then we just have the normal wither skeleton skulls getting put into this double chest here. So we can come here and collect all of our loot. I also have these levers here hooked up to a system that stops the item sorters from allowing any more coal or bones to go in. So right now they're in the off position and only wither skeleton skulls are getting sorted. But then if I flick this lever, you will see that these blocks get pulled up and coal is now able to be sorted, which is pretty cool. It's a nice little feature because I don't want to have to go in and replenish these shulker boxes every time I come over here just for some wither skeleton skulls. The shulker loader is a design of my own. I worked on it a couple hours last night, got it down to basically a 3-wide tileable thing. It works at double hopper speed, which is super nice, and basically once this comparator is full, it pops this forward, which punches this out and dispenses a new shulker box. Pretty cool, but there was one modification I made. It was possible that whenever you had the hopper here, that a shulker box could land right in there, and obviously we don't want that, which is why I went in and have the barrels here. They don't slow it down or anything, so in total it's a super cool design. I'm glad it works well. I used carpet mod to tick warp the area for quite some time, and we can still see that all of our piglins are still in place, all 18 of them I think, which is super good. We don't have to worry about them dying anymore. I am glad that that is off my plate now. But I have not just been working in creative on this farm here. I also have been doing some work in survival. So let's go to Eden's Realm and check that out. Not only have I been doing a ton of digging to clear out this massive hole here, and I also got 5 wither skeleton skulls while I was doing it, I have been working here in the sorting system area doing a little bit of maintenance work. So previously there was an issue where you can see here I did not have enough chests for all of the honey. So we come down below here and that has all been fixed. You can see it's all getting put into these chests here, which is just getting dispensed by the same system. But what it allows me to do is it allows me to come over here and just take it, and I can craft honey blocks right like that, and then throw it in there, and that'll end up in the system instead of me having to do it all manually upstairs. It's really nice and simple. We should hopefully be able to see it come in just a couple of seconds. Well, we weren't there in time to see it get done, but I am still happy with what I've gotten done here. Having that system down there is really nice, and I don't think we will run out of space and cause the glass bottles to despawn like they had been. That was a big annoyance because I was kept having to replace them. I also have been doing a little bit of work with villagers here. I got two new villagers so that they can sell me golden carrots, and it makes it easier to stock up my supply of golden carrots. I was running low recently after all the damage that I was taking over at the Wither Skeleton farm, and I decided it would be a good idea to get some more in here so that I can restock quicker. Because previously it was taking me 2 or 3 Minecraft days to restock that, but now it should only take me 1 or maybe 2. They also introduced some changes in the latest snapshot to how villagers, and namely the librarians, are going to work. I think basically what it is that librarians from certain biomes are going to be able to sell certain types of books, and they won't, like your normal level 1 librarian won't be able to sell you everything, so you'll have to focus more on leveling them up. I think that's pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of having to take villagers to all of the 7 different types of biomes. I think that's how many there are, and get all 7 types of villagers because it makes doing trading halls a little bit more difficult, and you might want to find an area where those 7 types of biomes are close together. But luckily, as far as I'm aware, I have all of the books here. I might be missing 1 or 2, but I even think I have the. I know I have the Trident ones, and I think I have like some of the niche ones like Frostwalker laying around somewhere. So I think we are all set. We shouldn't have to worry about it too much, but yeah, that's a side note. If you're wondering what's coming, that's what's coming up. On a completely other note, real life Jordan is going to be extremely busy within the next month or so, and I plan on continuing to be busy for the foreseeable future. I'm going back to school, and I'm also picking up some more responsibilities there that mean I'm going to have less time to play video games in general, which I think is fine for my mental health, honestly. But what it does mean is that I will be cutting back from the 1 video a week schedule. Most likely, what we'll do is I will try and do 2 per month, and but I will only promise 1 per month. So plan on 1 per month, and we'll see how that goes. My goal is to make them a little bit similar to this one in that I'll have lots of updates on what I have been doing and lots of big projects that I'm working on, but it won't be like a step-by-step process that, especially my earlier ones on. I'm attempting to edit my editing and style in how I make videos for the better. We will see how that goes. And what are we going to be doing for the rest of the episode? Well, you can kind of see a little bit in there behind me. We are doing a little bit of building. I have done the majority of the building that I want to do today, and as the shaders load, you're going to get a good peek at what I've been up to. So, this is the beginnings of the library. Obviously, it's not done, but I finally got that kick of inspiration that I needed to get started and to get this color palette. I was home over lunch and I got a good idea for this floor and for like the bookshelves, and I went to my computer and put down a couple of things before I had to run back to work. But I think this is looking amazing. I have a little bit of a variation that I want to try that I think might look really good with the shaders, but this is we'll call it the vanilla look, and I think it looks amazing. Walking through like the stacks here, it just feels really good. And then I also have these brown mushroom blocks here that give it a warm texture without having to add too much to it. And brown mushroom blocks aren't normally a building block for me. They're not. They're a very warm block, and it's not normally what I build with. But I think that this adds a lot. I think the brown mushroom blocks do fit in well, though. And this is the variation. You can see I'd be using warped wood instead of the dark oak logs. I would change this, I think. I don't know what to I haven't decided yet, but that's just a stand-in because I don't want to have to break all of the lanterns. But I think it looks best if I turn on the shaders, and with complementary shaders, they glow. And I think that gives it a little bit of a like astral, non-earthly vibe that I really like. And then I could use the dark oak around for the stairs because over here we're going to have our first stairwell. I think the plan is it'll go up on top of this here and then loop up and around, and then we'll have the start of the second floor. But I am uncertain on what I like more. I need to give it some thought, try some more things out. I also did a little bit of a pattern here in the floor. It's nothing too special, but there's a lodestone in the middle. Finally used it for something. I think it looks nice. Nobody's ever going to notice it though but me. And I suppose you now since I told you. But I think that is where we are going to wrap it up today. Let me know your opinions on whether or not you like these as pillars, or if you think I should go back to the dark oak as a more little bit of vanilla feel. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. Take care. Have a good day. Bye bye.